Hey guys,
Hi.
Pierre and Adam here.
Yep.
With the SpellCast.
That one's Adam.
This one's Pierre.
Yep.
And this is basically, this whole podcast that you're listening to now is based on this wanton dream I had of wanting to do this and wanting to do a D&D campaign and put it out for the world to listen to, because I like to tell stories, and this guy and two of our other friends are jumping in on it with me.
Because we like to live stories.
We like to live vicariously and live with the odds of dice.
Vicariously? We're there!
Well, we are there. It's in our imagination. We are believing in our minds.
We believe in the us that believe in us that believe in us that... Stop me.
Gurren Lagann! Copyright. Blank over. But no, it's Pierre and I, and two other friends of ours.
Mike and Gerald.
Mike, who has a lot of tabletop experience. Gerald, who has... Pierre, you want to fill in that statement for me?
What is the closest to no experience that you can get without getting to no experience?
Does the phrase, which dice do I roll first?
You may hear that a lot.
You may hear that a lot.
If we don't cut it out, you may hear it a lot.
Which is okay because he's very endearing and he's great intuition and instincts for characters. But yeah, it's just the four of us for now. I have teased to them about adding one or two others in the future. We don't know who because
it could be you.
Could it be you? Could it be you?
Do you live in the New York area? Please.
Because I mean that's how scheduling works, and it's just us four that are able to get together and just do this for the love of doing it, really. And Sam, our mutual friend, and she stopped by and wanted to wish us well, send us off on her first session / episode with some good luck. So she's in there. She will be in this one playing a character, and yeah, it's just going to be that for the first session. Me, you, Mike, Gerald, and Sam, and that's and these guys are helping me indulge in this campaign that I've crafted over the past.
How long now?
Oh well, I've actually haven't been DMing for that long since New Year's of 2015. Since New Year's of 2015, I've been DMing, and this campaign has been slowly building upon that. And it's a homebrew Faerun campaign. There will be major elements that you'll recognize in the audience, and minor elements that are completely new and totally different, or changed in a lot of ways that I need them to change to fit the tone of the story. So
it'll be familiar, but don't expect to know everything. Yeah,
and just indulge in the surprises. Just let them
just ride.
Just ride the inspiration.
Ride with us. We will take care of you.
Yeah.
Don't have no fear. There are cup holders.
There are cup holders.
Mm-hmm. It's very important.
Mm-hmm. Because God knows how much insert brand of energy drink here we drink and need cup holders for every time we play.
God. No, we need specialized can holders. We handle them roughly.
We do. But yeah, no, and I think so. Yeah, homebrew campaign. There's a lot of, as well as a lot of cup holders and things. Cup holders and things.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. It is okay. We'll just jump into the fact that we've done a lot of unconventional things, even with the way, even with these characters.
Well, they're not violently
They're
unconventional.
not violent. No. They're just fun and playful.
But different.
Yeah. Pierre. Who are you playing?
I am playing Ront.
And what race is Ront?
Ront is a half-orc.
Mm-hmm. Good.
He can speak well.
He can speak well. Mm-hmm.
He can think well.
Mm-hmm.
Not good. He would probably hit you for saying good.
Yeah.
He probably wouldn't be able to hit you very good.
But still, that's basically Ront, and we'll get into a lot of the more in-depth introductions in like some interviews that will interlace with episodes with these characters later. But we have Mike, who's playing the race of which he and I created with the help of a Reddit article which I'm crediting to the username James Musicus on how to build custom races based on a point system, which was very intuitive and we really enjoyed and made a lot of sense. And so that's Mike's character.
Whose name
is Halexan. Thank you. Nearly forgot about names. And then we have Gerald, who's playing a half-elf, but his elf side is a moon elf?
Moon elf.
Thank God, because there's so many elves. I can't remember.
At least a dozen?
At least a dozen elves. And
in all of Faerun, there are at least a dozen elves.
At least a dozen elves. I mean, that's true. That's true numerically. We hope. Fuck, that gene pool would be so fucked too if there were. But he's playing a moon elf, named Conall. Conall.
With an A.
With an A. Conall.
Any other way you could spell that.
Yeah, and I had just a weird situation of if he named it because it's the combination of Conall. I'm going to be so unhappy with that turnout.
What?
Yeah, well, think of it. If you spell his name and you say Conall, Conall. So if he's playing some secret character that none of us knew about, and he's using his inexperience as a cloak for this.
No, that's my shtick.
That's your shtick, because you min, and you fucking... But you're... well.
We'll talk about that later.
You'll experience that later. But yeah, and so we've custom races, and these characters... we start out in Baldur's Gate.
Yeah.
None of these characters are from Baldur's Gate.
How did they even end up there?
Various reasons, which we'll figure out in the interviews, and you'll reveal some background stuff that might be pertinent to the episodes in which they are slotted into.
In the interviews.
But they know each other.
Yes.
Which is key to any adventuring party, I feel like. Although you guys have never been on any adventures.
We aren't starting in a tavern.
You aren't starting in a tavern. You're instead starting in Faerun's very first inaugural family-oriented restaurant.
Yes, that is what we will call it. A family-oriented restaurant.
To be more specific, a themed family-oriented restaurant.
Oh yeah? What's it called?
Rufus Rough Puppy's Ramen Ranch.
What?
So, your boss had this idea to come up with something classic, like a Western ranch themed in the heartlands, of Faerun, people driving cattle. But he was like, he doesn't want to serve beef, but he wants to make an easy cooked meal, so he decided ramen was the best thing to do. And so the whole restaurant has this Western theme, and to appeal to kids, think of like a Tombstone or like a spaghetti Western. Noodles.
Ramen Western.
Yeah. So like a ramen Western. He wanted to make all the characters these like anthropomorphic things. So there's the leader of the town, who's like the sheriff, Rufus Rough Puppy, who's like a big sheriff anthropomorphic dog, owns the ranch where they make the ramen. There, he has his deputies, Mickey the Mule, Henry the Horse, and Rocky Rooster.
Okay.
And they also play in a band.
What?
Called the Doodles, or the Doodling Noodles. And in the fiction of this themed universe, there's like this saloon where like the three Pigliettes are like these can dancers, and there's like
Wait, so that's the fiction, or there's an actual place?
Well, there's like a room in the restaurant. There's like multiple floors in the restaurant with multiple different amenities, right?
Okay.
So you can have this area where it's like a fake dungeon is set up where kids can run through like these little pits where it would be spikes, but they're actually like little rubberized balls that don't hurt anything, and you can like slide down trap doors, but it's really like this wooden slide that they can just climb to the top of this wizard's tower.
Okay,
and,
that's
like,
cute.
Slide down. And
so we've got a saloon, a dungeon,
a little fake dungeon thing. There's on the second floor. There's like a stage, right, where Rufus and his band plays. Mm-hmm. There's to entertain the kids when they're not listening to the band or like eating downstairs or in the dungeon. There's like what's called the arcade.
Okay.
A bunch of magical wooden like machinery set up that like plays games for you.
Okay.
Yeah, where you can just play games, and you get these little wooden chits, and you put them in these little slots, and it activates the game, and you get these little tickets, and you take them to a prize counter, and you can change the prize or whatever. And if that's not enough, there's also a section called the Cabaret Corral, which is where the other characters exist. So there's the three Pigliettes who saloon, basically can dancers, saloon theme. There's Bully Bull and Billy Goat, who are like a comedy sketch, and they act as like the antagonists of Rufus Rough Puppy. They're like bank robbers, like bandits, trying to steal all the ramen, a la the Trix Rabbit.
Okay.
Yeah. And there's the Ronin Rabbit, who's like the man with no name, Clint Eastwood archetype, who basically, he just tells stories of the times he comes in and saves the town. And that's...
So Rufus isn't saving the town, he's just sort of like...
He just sort of like it's really secretly like the Ronin Rabbit, but like people give Rufus credit because like it's kind of like what's the name of that western Hi-Ho Silver
Lone Ranger,
kind of like that's he's like a mix of the Lone Ranger and Clint Eastwood.
Okay, so what, all of these characters are played like, are these the employees?
No, they're actually interestingly they're like constructs. So these constructs have like these costumes. An employee can wear the costume. There's extras of these if they want to walk down the first floor, because the constructs can't go down onto the first floor because they're not good with stairs.
As they are. So they just kind of like, roam around the upstairs place. Sometimes they're locked into their little stations and they perform for the kids and whatever, entertain people. In terms of employees, mostly all the employees except for a couple which stay upstairs, most people, including you guys, stay downstairs in the main dining area, right? Okay.
There's you three.
Right.
There's the head chef called Ramses Irving. He's a high elf chef who's very like stuck up, and like he got hired with a big pay, but he's used to cooking for nobles, so just making ramen is like kind of, it irks him that he's not making big, crazy, flamboyant dishes with big flavor.
So it's not artisanal ramen, it's just
ramen. It's not artisanal ramen. But he's getting paid, so he's dealing with it barely by the skin of his teeth. There's, in the sort of sous chef position, there's R, who is an Eric Cochran chef, whose full name is practically unpronounceable in the common tongue, so you guys just call him R by like the first syllable that is, that you can hear. And he's on the sous chef level. There's Belma, whose last name is
Broadstone or something?
Let me see.
No.
There's Belma Bronzethumb. You're close.
Uh-huh.
She's a dwarven tinker. She's just hired to maintain and repair the constructs.
Right.
There's old Joe, janitor, probably like 70, 80. Not, probably one of the only jobs he can get in the city. Who knows what he did before. There's Dahlia, who is Dahlia, everyone calls her Apathy. That's who Sam will be playing. She is
That's right, her name is
And
I can't believe you've done this.
I did it. It's basically young, apathetic tiefling girl who pretty much hates every day she's at work and is just a plain downer more often than not. She works the prize counter and manages the arcade. And that's pretty much it for like the other employees except for you guys.
Okay.
And you each were hired by the main NPC, which we will reveal right now, Jadenkel Silvertooth.
That's right, his name is Silvertooth. What's his obsession with gold?
I don't know. It's weird.
Shouldn't it be silver?
I don't know. But that's also a very good point. He's very rich. He's very rich. Business savvy isn't exactly right. Business imaginative is more correct than anything.
He's very prone to business.
He's very prone to starting new businesses, which which
we will describe later.
Which we will describe later. But he's a goblin, and he's a very nice goblin.
Yes.
He's very. He has lofty ideas.
He's very spirited. We love him.
We love him. He's a very good character.
But he's very rich.
He's very rich, like egregiously rich. Like fucking if he were in our world, he would own Dubai rich.
That is a skill I wasn't prepared for.
Well, there you go. Welcome to now. Welcome to it now.
But you know, it does, you know, then make sense that he treats his employees very well.
Exactly. He paid you guys in the first month of you working there 30 gold. 1 gold for each day. Which is fucking ludicrous because I am adhering to that old notion that gold is 1 gold piece is the average artisan's pay if they are lucky in a day, right?
And I'm getting paid that
and you're getting paid that to well, why not? It's family oriented themed ramen restaurant.
Well, I mean, I guess you could call it professional cycling.
Professional cycling. That's gonna be fun to tell to everyone. But yeah, no, that's them. That's where they work. And I mean, they work in a restaurant. They're not adventurers. They're untrained labor. They're untrained labor.
We don't even have classes.
You don't even have classes yet. You guys I made you guys start out with a race and a background, and that's it. I'm going with this weird kind of like 0.5 level deal.
So we got, what was it? We got a standard allotment of stats. So we didn't have to roll.
No.
We got to decide where the stats went.
Exactly.
And we picked the races, which have some modifiers, but not many.
And have some bonuses, which some people forget about.
Stop it.
And
no, I should stop it.
And
we have a background.
Which gives some proficiencies and things.
Right.
Yeah. And some equipment.
Mine is, it's mostly book.
Mostly
book.
It's
not. There are rules for making a background in the thing, but mine very closely resembles 2 of them. One from the Sword Coast Guide.
Yeah. One was from the Sword Coast Adventurers Guide, just a feature that I think we just pulled from.
It's legit.
We are probably going to delve into some UA stuff depending on where we go, and you know that'll be a chance for you guys.
There's been some good stuff recently. If you haven't looked at it, check it out.
Yeah, there's been some really good stuff. There's been some controversial things, which surprises for later. Don't worry about that right now.
It's gonna make a big surprise entrance. It's gonna be a big bang.
It's gonna be a bang of an entrance. And I guess from that we'll just jump into where this episode starts, right? Because you guys just got paid.
We just got paid.
And being all of you in a big city where there is no the drinking age is all pretty much non-existent in Baldur's Gate. You guys,
old are we?
Well, you're all teenagers for some fucking reason. All of you, without collaborating, unless you did so in secret, to not my knowledge.
And we're not that sophisticated.
And Pierre is very good about not metagaming. Pierre's very good at that.
Yes.
To the point where he min-mins.
Again, we will discuss that later.
And somehow, you guys all ended up being teenagers. Somehow, I don't know. Conall is 17.
Is Hal the oldest?
Hal, I think, is 17, verging on 18. And you are like the half-orc coming of age 14. Yeah. That's the traditional thing.
He's not going to grow anymore, though.
No. No. He's kind of a little bit tiny, but that's okay. Like, what, 5'1"? No, that's not 5'1". How tall is he?
I'm pretty sure he's actually 5.
He's actually 5 foot?
Actually, I have it here. But it's 5 or 5'1" or whatever the shortest on the racial table was.
Right. And then you guys being paid 30 gold, being teenagers.
And not really knowing the value of money.
Just went out on a fucking drinking spree.
5-1.
5-1, we were right. Went out on a fucking drinking spree.
We do not, here at SpellCast, condone underage drinking.
Yes. And just went out and got super sloppy, just fucking wasted.
Do we even remember
No.
getting wasted?
No, well...
What do we remember?
You remember being in a tavern, toasting to new job, bright futures, and as you lifted your glasses of that fucking liquor, which we keep changing the name of, Heartfire?
Breathfire.
Dragon Fire,
Buttfire.
Something. We'll figure it. We eventually figure it out, I promise.
Do we?
No. Promise broken. As you lift it up, it's very hard liquor. As you lift it up to your mouths, and
it's fucking solid liquor.
It's fucking solid. You tilt it back, you close your eyes, and the next thing you know...
We wake up at home!
You open your eyes, and you're just staring at the ceiling, lying in whatever room you decided to rent out in Baldur's Gate.
I'm amazed that we ended up in our own rooms. Amazed.
I'm amazed too, and I'm the DM. And
although what I really, really, really want to see is the scene where Hal wakes up in someone else's bed.
Oh. Let me write that down in our little notebook. But yeah, and that's where we start, and that's basically what the night before was, and that's all I'm going to give you guys, the listeners, in this intro, because that's where this episode is going to start.
Yep.
So I hope you enjoy it.
We'll
please,
see you over there.
Please, I will say this, a little disclaimer.
Mm.
Please forgive us for the first few episodes. I trying to replicate a studio space in what's obviously not a studio space.
We're on Adam's couch.
In my apartment because I wanted a real home feel. Just come on over and let's play some D&D. Home feel, down home dice rolling, and yeah. So it might be a little rough.
We are continually working to improve the listening experience.
But yeah, we hope you enjoy it, and we'll see you guys later.